Hey everybody, Mr. Witty here, just hanging out, getting ready for a little mining run, but on my way I wanted to discuss something, well, something I haven't spoken about on the channel yet. If you're not new here, then you've probably seen my series where I periodically go over the current state and the future of Population 1, the VR Battle Royale that has taken over Oculus that you should definitely check out. But it had me thinking. I've never actually taken the time to really put my 2 cents in on the state of A Township Tale and where I think it could go, based on the thousands of comments that have poured in since the game launched on the Oculus Quest, along with just my overall view from the outside looking in. Also, you guys probably didn't realize this, but there's actually an entire roadmap for this game, so of course, we have to dig into that just a little bit and compare vision to reality. Take into account that some of this is definitely going to be my hopes and dreams, not necessarily what the developers have planned, and actually they're basically the only developers I have no communication with at all, so keep that in mind before you go asking all the questions. With that spirit though, do leave a comment and let me know what would be your favorite mechanic put into the game that we end up discussing here as we dive into the future of A Township Tale. Okay, so for those who don't know, A Township Tale is a virtual reality RPG game developed by the team at Alta VR that launched years ago on PC VR, long before the Quest was even a thing, or standalone VR for that matter. It's been ongoing and a very niche project for some time, and was one of the very first VR games that had me hooked, even before this channel existed. So of course I was wanting to cover it here on the channel eventually, and I did so at the beginning of last year. Being a huge RuneScape nerd growing up, this game was a must for me to share because it's essentially just that, RuneScape principles but in VR. Not near as expansive or in-depth of course, but with the physicality involved in every aspect of the game, from carving wood, crafting anything, all the way to bending down just to pick something off the ground. It's definitely an immersive VR title. Now that you noobs have an idea of what this is, let's talk about when the game blew up. As I mentioned, I had put my first video for the game out at the beginning of last year. Well, fast forward to around June of last year, and this video starts getting a lot of views, and I had no idea why. Until I realized that the game was launching on the Oculus Quest platform on July 15th, the following month. This took the Quest platform by storm and became the #1 game for some time, being featured right there when you logged in at one point. Yeah, it was smashing numbers, and for good reason, because it was only $10. What a decent price to pay, right? I mean, surely there's enough content, right? Well, yes and no. I mean, don't get me wrong, the game's definitely a jam. I love it, and I've played over 500 hours for a reason. And let me elaborate on why that is just a bit. This title has a ridiculous amount of potential, and the progress since I've seen the game has just been super cool to watch, and I myself was even a monthly supporter. Of course, no doubt, we needed the things that come along with the Quest version release, most importantly the sales and the player base. So I am so glad that it is on a standalone platform. Now with that being said, let's just take a quick look at what has been done just since maybe around the time of my last Township Tale upload a couple of months ago. Starting with the updates, we had 4 patches for standalone, some smaller than others. Now let's look at the store rotations and other things, like monetization updates. We've had 6 cosmetic shop rotations, 1 sale, along with the launch of the new store. Now, I'm all for making that cheddar, getting a foothold on all the insane things it takes to financially expand a team for development and take this game where it could be one day. And maybe I'm probably just overthinking this a bit when I ponder on this, as I always do, being ADHD, but it's almost as if they didn't sell a ridiculous number of copies already. And while I love the cosmetics and new items, it just makes me wonder what the future really holds for the game at the rate that VR is expanding currently. I don't want to see this game left behind by any other titles that are already in the works, and trust me, they are in the works. I really want to see this title reach its full potential one day, and firmly believe it could easily get there. Now let's take a quick look at this roadmap. Link to it will be down below. First, in development, we can see the merged code version of the ATT code. which is where they're working to merge the two code bases together. Now, this isn't the same as having the features, but it will eventually allow them to update the games together. And just in my own personal theory here, maybe allow PC players to at least join on Quest players at some point, but that's just pure speculation. The thing I do want to note here, for those of you who have not been involved in the game for some time, is that nothing that's been planned and teased for the past year basically is going to happen anytime soon. So no house building, no tower port, or anything like that for the foreseeable future at least. I do get asked about housing often, and honestly, yeah, I totally get it. It would definitely take the game to the next level, especially for those on Quest servers where you can't really prefab anything into the game or keep your stuff protected. You can also see plenty of other things I encourage you to check out, like medium future and far future products that have been tossed around for the game since this was made some time ago. Armor, mage classes, other abilities and skills, and much more would definitely take this game to a whole different realm. For those of you wondering where I might have been recently, in regards to this game at least, I'm still around, just pacing myself for just a bit, so that when I do come back to playing the game much more often again, I will have that much more to do, because this type of game I really enjoy spending hours upon hours at a time on, not just hopping on for a short while. But at this point, I'm going to hang on to those hopes that they really fully deliver after catching up with all the code. I mean, just take a look at the far future in the roadmap. Weather, world events, and my personal favorite, fishing. Like, I could seriously fish all day in this game if it was done properly. I hope they have the resources to take all this on as they grow their team, which, judging by the replies I've gotten from them, they must be pretty busy, and I totally get it. I mean, it's not like this channel has convinced anyone to get the game. All in all, though, I'm really happy to see this game being pushed the way it is, and seeing so many people finding their love of virtual reality through this is just awesome to me. I've always expressed my passion for seeing VR grow, and this game is just another great way, a step in the right direction, and overall a good step in that direction that I look forward to seeing continue. Once the code, again, is entirely caught up to itself on both platforms, hopefully bringing much more to the game, at a better rate that would probably reflect the growth that the team has underwent since the launch of the Quest version back in July. Either way, I look forward to seeing what it holds for A Township Tale, one of my favorite experiences in virtual reality. I just feel the content is just going to get better with sweet time, and taking into account the Quest launch, I can understand this in part. I just wouldn't expect the average player to want to spend hours upon hours in the title just yet, although you are sure to have a great time, and hopefully a wider variety of great times to come. Let me know what you would like to see most of in the future of the game once the code is again caught up. Thanks so much to all the monthly supporters. You guys are the true heart of the channel. Subscribe if you enjoy these productions, because they do take a bit of time. Don't forget that I do a lot of other content that you might find interesting. And slap the like button to keep the video going if you made it this far, because if you did make it this far, hats off to you. God bless. Okay, bye.